And in this case, it doesn't even need to be a diagnosis. In general, I actually think that a diagnosis is really just, for the most part, a kind of curse that labels a pattern a certain way and that hardens and rigidifies a state of being in your psyche and in your experience, because now you are a person who has this diagnosis. And so then in general you start to identify very deeply with it, and it actually creates a noun out of something that isn't a noun. It is a process. And that's an important consideration, is that everything is already process. I spoke about this, and I've mentioned this podcast already, and I highly suggest you listen to it if you haven't, which is an alchemical model of health. Basically, the nature itself is alchemy. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm, and that disease states and health states are really just process. They're processes that are currently in flux and leading somewhere, with either a constructive aspect to them or a destructive aspect to them. But nonetheless, in this case, a diagnosis is a noun. It makes you feel like it's a thing that is in you and that is unabsolvable, or that has to be fought and destroyed. But if we step back from that and we just recognize that what modern medicine calls a diagnosis is really just a kind of pattern. It's talking about a pattern that is recognizable and similar to other patterns, and that tends to respond in the same way to similar patterns.